You are 18 years old. One day, you are learning ordinary life. The next, you are standing in uniform, preparing for a war nobody expected to become global. Your first assignment takes you to Eastern Europe. You are not a hero. You are a new soldier trying to understand what everyone else already seems to know. And the strangest part is the waiting. Hours can pass with almost nothing happening. Then suddenly, everything changes. Your first contact is confusing. Noise fills the air. Orders overlap. Your heart races, and training suddenly becomes more important than thought. You discover that courage does not mean feeling no fear. It means continuing to function while fear is screaming at you. At private rank, your world is small. Your equipment, your position, your squad, and staying alive long enough to help the person beside you. 2 years later, you become a specialist and combat medic. Your battlefield changes from open ground to shattered streets and ruined buildings. Urban combat is different. Danger can come from almost anywhere, and there may be civilians, wounded soldiers, and collapsing structures around you. You cannot save everyone at once. You have to decide who needs immediate help and who can wait. These decisions stay with you. The battlefield teaches you something training never could. Every number on a casualty report was once a person. You work faster. You learn to stay calm. Your hands become steadier even when everything around you is falling apart. By 22, you are no longer the frightened recruit you once were. You have learned how to think through chaos instead of simply reacting to it. Now you are a sergeant and a rifle squad leader. 6, 8, or 10 soldiers may suddenly be looking to you for answers. Leadership starts becoming personal. You know who is brave, who is exhausted, who needs encouragement, and who is quietly losing confidence. When things go wrong, your soldiers do not need a speech. They need someone who stays calm. You begin making small decisions: where to move, when to wait, how to communicate, and how to keep your people together. You learn that leadership is built through trust. Your soldiers follow you because they believe you will not waste their lives carelessly. At 25, you become a staff sergeant leading a weapons team in the Pacific. Now the battlefield is changing. Your radios suddenly become unreliable. Sensors lose information. Messages arrive late, or not at all. For the first time, you understand that modern warfare can attack your ability to understand the battlefield itself. When technology fails, training becomes your backup. You rely on procedures, observation, and the people around you. At 28, you become a sergeant first class, the platoon sergeant. You are now the bridge between officers and soldiers. Your job is not glamorous. You correct mistakes, solve problems, check supplies, and make sure inexperienced soldiers learn from experienced ones. You also notice things officers may miss: exhaustion, fear, arguments, homesickness, and the soldier who has stopped talking. You become the person younger soldiers remember. Not because you give grand speeches, but because you are there when things become difficult. At 30, you receive your commission as a second lieutenant. Your view suddenly becomes wider, and much less certain. You now receive intelligence reports, political guidance, logistical updates, and battlefield information from multiple sources. But more information does not always mean more answers. Sometimes it simply reveals how much you do not know. Some of the soldiers under you have more combat experience than you do. Your challenge is to lead them without pretending you know everything. You learn that good leadership includes asking questions, listening to experienced people, and admitting when information is incomplete. At 34, you command a company. Suddenly, the people you are responsible for are counted in the hundreds. When casualties arrive, the numbers become painfully real. Every missing soldier has a name, a family, and people waiting for them. Sometimes leadership means writing a letter to a family you have never met, explaining that their loved one will not be coming home. You begin to understand the paradox of command. The more people you lead, the less directly you can protect them. At 39, you become a major working at battalion level. Your job is no longer simply to lead soldiers. It is to connect many moving pieces. You study logistics, intelligence, communications, weather, terrain, and possible enemy actions. Every plan depends on information that may change tomorrow. Modern warfare creates another problem. The battlefield can change faster than headquarters can understand it. So you plan for what could go wrong. The best plan is not the one that assumes everything works. It is the one that survives when everything changes. At 46, you become a colonel and brigade commander. Thousands of soldiers may now depend on decisions you make far from the front. You also discover that military decisions are never purely military. Alliances, governments, civilians, resources, and diplomacy all shape what commanders can do. A successful operation can create an opportunity for negotiation. A reckless decision can close that opportunity completely. At this level, leadership becomes less about giving orders and more about understanding consequences. At 54, you reach the highest level, 4-star general and supreme allied commander in this fictional scenario. Your headquarters is deep underground. Screens show several theaters, but the room is quiet. Everyone is waiting for your assessment. Then comes the decision that could change everything. Intelligence suggests a dangerous escalation may be approaching. You have military options. But every option carries risks. You recommend restraint, communication, and creating space for diplomacy. Hours later, the messages change. Weapons fall silent. A fragile ceasefire begins. You realize that sometimes the greatest victory is the disaster that never happens. From private to general, your life has changed completely. At the bottom, you fight to survive. At the top, you fight to prevent others from having to.